What it is, folks, this your homeboy First, and this is episode 3 of First Free Clinic. This is a safe space, a safe zone. This is a community where we can come and converse. We can come and fellowship in a real way. You feel me? About mental health struggles and issues and challenges that we all may face. You feel me? Uh, I compare it to what they do with AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, okay? Where they come together and they all work through things together, man, and that helps uh the healing process. That helps them survive, really. Well, goddamn it, we doing that on a global scale. Okay, we're doing that on a global scale. This internet is around the world, and one of the things I want y'all to see is if you dealing with some mental health issues, then goddamn it, somebody else is as well. You feel me? You ain't the only one, and I'm saying that as somebody who be feeling alone myself. Okay, there are many times that I feel alone. Okay, so I have to acknowledge that I'm not alone though, because I got y'all and you got your homeboy First. You feel me? So this episode, I want to focus on particularly black men and our health. What's happening, Antonio? What's happening, dog? Hope to see you. I hope to see you at the game, man. I hope to see you. Okay, make sure we link up. I get a picture with you, dog. Uh, but today I want to focus on black men and our mental health. If any of my ladies are in here, please stay. Okay, please stay because you got a black man that you love, whether that's your father, your son, somebody in your life. Okay, and you may want to understand their struggles a little more and try to understand, well, why don't they open up more, and maybe try to understand how can you get them to open up and get them the help that they need. Okay, that's what we here for. You feel me? That's what we here for. So please stay if you're a lady out there. For all the fellas, you know what I'm talking about, we want to work through some things. If you're not black and you on here, because got real ones who aren't black, please stay. Okay, because maybe you can try to understand some of our struggling to give you a different perspective. Okay, but let's not waste no time. Let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, we all know there is a stigma attached to mental health challenges, no matter who you are, but especially as a black man. Men in general, we are expected to be just tough, hard motherfuckers. But when you're a black man, it's like you expected that nothing bothers you. You know what I'm talking about? You the hardest motherfucker walking around the planet. You know what I'm talking about? And when you express something otherwise, what the hood say? You soft. You a bitch. That's what they say. Soft ass, bitch ass. And so to survive in that environment, you mask everything. You mask everything. You feel me? Like in my hood. In my hood where I grew up in Canton, Mississippi. Some of the things you grew up doing, you grew up repping GD, Gangster Disciple, or you grew up repping Folk on the Hustlers. Okay, so you grew up rocking blue and black or red and black or kicking your hat to the right or to the left. You feel me? You grew up learning the handshakes and all that kind of stuff. I remember we used to be hooping in my backyard, and you know when there was a controversy about who the ball went out on and all that kind of stuff. Folks didn't say on my mama or necessarily on God. They said on nation, on the gangster, on the foe. You learn things like that. You learn how to throw your rolls. Okay, if you from a hood like mine, okay, throw your rolls like when you getting ready to fight. Okay, I don't know, cats be up there doing something like that. I know one motherfucker you be up there rolling hand like that before they get ready to fight. You learn crazy ass shit like that. You learn about girls and cats lie about how many girls they done fucked and all that kind of shit. You learn all this stuff, but you know what you don't learn? You don't learn how to deal with your goddamn trauma. You don't learn how to deal properly with your mental health. You learn how to deal with it. Let me clean that up. You do learn how to deal with it, but you learn how to deal with it in the wrong way. You learn to medicate with marijuana. You learn to medicate with alcohol. You don't learn how to deal with it in the right way. You feel me? But I want to share this with y'all. Again, this is a place for men and women to deal with shit in a real way. Okay. And yeah, I know Thursday night football on right now. So a lot of men watching that, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Football season ain't always gonna be going on. And football, even when it's going on, ain't more important than your motherfucking mental health. So I told y'all I'm gonna be here for you. You feel me? And so I want to acknowledge that acknowledging your issues or struggles or challenges, that ain't weakness. That don't make you soft. That don't make you a bitch. None of that. Actually, it's the opposite. That makes you strong. Cause it take a real ass motherfucker to publicly acknowledge. Yeah, I deal with some trauma. I deal with some challenges. Sometimes I cry, goddammit. Sometimes I cry. Like I remember when I was a teacher and a coach, and I would admit some of these things publicly to my student. Now you got to remember, I'm teaching high school. Okay, some of these motherfuckers taller than me. You know, I've been lifting weights a lot, but some of these motherfuckers most stout than me. And so they was like, "Well, wow, you admit that?" I said, "Yeah, what's somebody gonna do? They gonna whoop my ass because I told them I cried? I ain't worried about that. That takes strength. It takes courage to be honest about what the fuck is wrong with you. That takes strength and courage. To be honest. That's what we got to do is be honest. Not to say my nerves bad. That's something else you learn in the hood. You hear that, oh, men and women say that. My nerves bad. Instead of acknowledging you got anxiety or depression, or goddamn it, both. Shit, you might have both. What is anxiety? Okay, what is anxiety? Anxiety is basically your fight or flight response. That's what anxiety is. Your fight or flight response. First, what you talking about? Fight or flight response. All right. God, incredible. God is incredible. And I haven't got, we going to do our serenity prayer. Okay. It just hit me that I ain't started with it. That's a fuck up on my part. We going to do that. Okay. We'll end with it then since I didn't do it. Okay. But God is incredible. And one of the adaptations God has given us is this so-called fight or flight response. Well, let's say you in danger, your body automatically like gives you more energy to either fight to survive or to run and get on down to survive. Okay. This is the fucked up part about that though. That response is triggered in some situations that it shouldn't be. Okay. And that's a dead giveaway that you got anxiety. Okay. Let's say you were out in the woods, you hunting, okay, and all of a sudden a bear come out of nowhere. God damn it, you need your fight or flight response right then. Shit, you gotta get on down, or be ready to handle that bear, okay. But if you have a test coming up, let's think back to when you were in high school and you gave a fuck about your grades, and you know you had a test coming. Now you prepared for the test, but you were still like feeling some type of way. That's anxiety. That's anxiety. Okay, that's that fight or flight response. Okay, and stress can trigger it, and sometimes that bitch don't want to go off. Trust me, I know. I had a panic attack that lasted shit seemed like a week or two, and no matter what I did, it wouldn't go away. I would go out there, I would walk, it'll go down, but then it'll come back. I go out there and box, like I told y'all, talked to y'all last week about boxing. I'd box, it'll go away, but it'll come back. Eventually, I had to go to the doctor and get some medicine to handle that shit. And that's okay. You feel me? That's okay. That don't make me less than a man. Because something was wrong with me that's out of my control. Okay. I acknowledged that something was wrong, went to the doctor, got some help about it. Hell, that makes me smart. That don't make me soft. Okay. Depression. What depression does, see, motherfuckers say, well, act like you're too hard to get depressed, too hard to get down. Depression really affects you physically. Like when the signals in your body start to be sent more slowly, and that's why you're feeling so like out of it. You don't want to do nothing because your body ain't functioning properly. So think about this. My brothers out there, think about this, because a lot of us play sports. When something ain't right with your knee, let's say it's your ACL, your MCL, or some shit like that. Let's say something wrong with your Achilles, you got a torn bicep, your pec is fucked up. You go get seen about so you can play. You know what I'm saying? You go get seen about when it's the body parts if something hurt. But this the most important motherfucking body part we got is the brain. And something be wrong with that. And we have let this society condition us to think we shouldn't see about this. No, brother. Fuck that. Fuck that. It's the most important body part. So if you'll go see about that ACL, goddamn it, go see about this. If you'll go see about that strained calf, go see about this. Okay. You'll be much better for it. Because if this is right here, it'll help everything else work better. It will. It will. Everything else. Somebody out there might be dependent on Viagra's I heard they got Blue Chew or some shit out here now. It's all kind of shit that brothers are using, try to, to get that thing up. You know what? It may be something up here. You might have what's called performance anxiety. Well, goddamn it, maybe this is a new experience between you and this lady. You couldn't wait for this opportunity to get with this lady. You know what I'm talking about? You've been thinking about it for a long time. And finally, goddamn it, the moment's there. And you thinking about it, you anticipating it too much, and you want to perform so well for you. You want to, you know what I'm talking about? You want to knock it out. You want to take her to Pound Town, like little Shawty say. And then that soldier won't march. Performance anxiety. See, but if you get this scene back, maybe you won't have that issue. Because this make everything else operate. So ain't nothing soft. Ain't nothing, you ain't being no bitch seeing about this right here. Not at all. Okay. We gotta acknowledge the trauma that we've experienced. You got some motherfuckers out here who mama died. And they try to act like, well, that ain't nothing, you know what I'm saying? Although I've been in my life out, from where I come from, that's just part of life. Oh, bro. Somebody you love, you lose them, we understand. Somebody disappointed you and that affected you in a way. We understand. You loved that woman and she cheated on you and you felt some type of way. You ain't got to listen what these fucking rappers talking about. Oh, bitches ain't shit, so that don't even bother you. A lot of these rappers talking this shit, get what? They got a woman they care about. They got a man. And let that man get wrong. See, they all in their feelings. It's like, listen to their records then. See, all this shit they be talking about in these songs, they talking about them groupies and shit like that. But they be talking about these strippers that they paying and the prostitute that they paying. But they got a main too. But then they convince you that, you shouldn't care about your woman. So if something ain't going right between your woman, now you just got up this facade that, man, shit, I ain't let no bitch get to me, man. I ain't really lose no sleep over no bitch. And it's the mother of your motherfucking child. No, bro, it's okay. It's okay to acknowledge if you've had something traumatic happen in your life that you couldn't handle. It's okay to acknowledge if someone has hurt you. That's okay, dog. It's okay to acknowledge how that shit made you feel. That does not make you soft. Makes you human. That makes you human. You're a fucking human being. So I can give y'all 10 examples of notable black men who have dealt with either suicidal thoughts, some who it got that real, or at least just mental health challenges with anxiety, depression. 10 of them. Okay. Number one, Tupac Shakur. That's the man I consider the greatest rapper of all time. And part of the reason I consider him the greatest rapper is because he touched every emotion. Okay. He checked every box. If you were mad, you can put his shit on. You know what I'm talking about? Hit him up. You want to fuck your woman, you can put that shit on. Nigga. Anyway, you can put Pac on. But you know what? If you were going through something here, you put some Pac on too. He got a song called Lord Knows. Very first line in the damn song, he says, I'm smoking weed to take the pain out. And if I wasn't high, I'd probably try to blow my brains out. First song. Now, first line, excuse me. Why you mention that first? I mentioned that because y'all know, if you grow up in the hood like I did, a lot of motherfuckers try to tell you suicide wasn't a thing for black people. That's something that white folk did. Black folk know not to do that because that's the ultimate sin. You can't come back to that. God will forgive you for everything, but you can't even ask for forgiveness if you committed suicide. I learned that in my hood. Meanwhile, I got a auntie who killed herself. I got a cousin who killed himself. I got other family members who tried. But motherfuckers want to tell me that ain't for black people. Well, hell, I come from a black family. What the fuck we talking about? What are we talking about? So when Pac said shit like that, that shit resonated with me. You feel me? He got a song off of Machiavelli called Crazy. Okay, where he talk in the hook, he said, "Time goes by, puffing on lie, hoping that it gets me high, got it going crazy." So again, though, what I talked about, motherfucker medicating. So you got some folks out here that swear they good. They swear ain't nothing wrong with me. I just smoke some weed when my nerve get bad. You know what I'm talking about? I hit that gas when my nerve get bad. But I'm good. I'm good. Harder, what's happening, dog? Appreciate you coming through. But you got some folks that's out here, they hitting the blunt all the time and they think they fine. No, you ain't fine. You medicated. You medicated. You feel me? Damn right, Harder. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. That's why we got to do this. That's why we got to do this. You damn right. I'm medicated. Now, I've never smoked weed before in my life. Okay. But I had to go to the doctor and get some medicine for that panic attack. It would not go away without me getting some medicine, and I could not go to sleep. I got up in the middle of the night many times, about to head to the ER, but my wife stopped me because she knew what was going on. You feel me? So when you hear some of these rappers talking about they always high, they always sipping lean, or they always popping pills, that motherfucker probably got some mental health problem that he's masking. It's probably some kind of pain that motherfucker is trying to wash away with alcohol or smoke away with weed or pop away with pills. You feel me? Another black man who you can tell dealt with some mental health challenges through his music was Biggie, Christopher Wallace, the notorious B.I.G., who I know some consider to be the greatest rapper of all time. The man's first album was called Ready to Die. First album. Now you would think that this is the highlight of his life, that he's got a record deal. He's on now. You feel me? I'm finna get out of the hood. That man named his album Ready to Die. Why? Think about all the stress was going on in his life. On the title song Ready to Die, he said, and I damn sure can feel this line right here now based on what just happened with my mama. He said, my mama got cancer in her breast. Don't ask me why I'm motherfucking stressed. Actually, that wasn't on Reddit. That's on Things Done Changed. That's on Things Done Changed. But my mama got cancer in her breast. Don't ask me why I'm motherfucking stressed. Think about that. So go back to Pac as well. Think about all the shit that Tupac was going through. Okay. That man had he didn't know his father. Okay. His mama was a Black Panther, so that she was being surveilled by the goddamn FBI. His mama ended up being addicted to crack. Okay. He's in utter poverty. You know what I'm talking about? And then once he got on in the rap game, that's when he started catching all these cases when he got on in the rap game. Stressed out like a motherfucker. Biggie, coming from the hood, father not around, you in poverty, selling crack to try to make it. You got a baby, you got a baby mama and all that kind of stuff. These boys stressed out. These are pillars in the rap game. Tupac and Biggie. Oh, they had mental health issues? Yes. Yes. Another one. Jay-Z. Oh, not first. No, Jay-Z ain't got Jay-Z mental health. He got Beyonce. He got $1 billion. He got bullshit. Bullshit. Listen to his records. See, some folks just listen to the beat. Listen to what these boys be talking about. Okay. His very first album, he got a song called Regrets. Now, y'all know Hov was a drug dealer himself. That's stressful in itself. That's stressful. He wrote he did a book called Decoded, where he broke down a lot of his rhymes and shit like that. And he talked about how stressful selling dope was. That really people, he looked back on it and he thinks about the money he made, but then when you take the money he made, divide about the amount of time he devoted to that shit, he said he was making less than minimum wage. Why? Because when you're trapping, when you're selling drugs, you ain't really never off the clock. Because when you go to sleep at night, you got to worry about, are the jack boys gonna kick in my door and take my shit? The feds gonna bump in this motherfucker. You gotta worry about who can I trust, because a fiend can snitch on you. One of your associates can snitch on you. Okay, your enemies can try to murder you. This ain't no easy life. Okay, but on this song Regrets, he talks about even having a conscience, like the regrets of being a drug dealer. Okay, he said, I sold it all from crack to opium in third person. I don't want to see him. See, his conscience fucked up. He don't want to see the addicts because he know he's doing something wrong. He dealing with it. He got a song called Lucky Me. Well, okay, this on the second album. So you've had a hit on the previous album called Ain't No N-Word. Okay, you've had that. You started to bubble a little bit. You got songs with Biggie, you Blind, and now you're coming into some fame, and he don't know how to deal with it. So he said, you and I look at him and think everything's sweet, but he said, you only know what you see. You don't understand what it takes to be me. That's mental health. Mental health. He got a song called Soon You'll Understand. Soon You'll Understand. Go listen to all these records. You see what I'm talking about? On Soon You'll Understand, he talks about all these different situations in his life and people he's hurt and how they don't understand him and all that kind of shit, relationship, all kind of fucked up shit. Like a lot of the stuff that Jay-Z talks about is therapeutic for him. See, a lot of us need to go to therapy, but people who are artistic like me and him and these cats, we get it out through our art. You feel me? So some might say, oh, he's conceited, he arrogant. He focusing on himself a lot because he talking through some of these issues. He did that on a song called Where Have You Been? Where him, a gangster rapper, a fucking former drug dealer, him and Beanie Siegel, a former drug dealer, street cat. These boys damn near crying on this song, Where Have You Been? Talking about their daddies. These motherfuckers grown and multimillionaires by then, but still hadn't let go of the trauma from being fatherless, from their fathers leaving them. He got a song called Lost One that came out after his nephew died in a car crash. You can hear the pain coming through in that record. Also on that song, he talk about Beyonce. Now, a lot of motherfuckers don't know that he talking about Beyonce in this record, Lost One. Okay. But that's who he talking about. Because it's at a time where he was stepping back from the limelight, son. But Beyonce was in the middle of that shit. Like that solo career was just really, really popping off and shit. And so while he wanted her more, it's gangster. This is a drug dealer. He complaining because his woman wanting to work more and not be with him more. Mental health. He getting it out through the music. His last album, 444, that whole album was put out. Why? Because he cheated on his wife. And so the marital issues, we all saw this shit play out live. We went to the therapy session with the motherfucker. We were his counselors. Some of us were his critics, but we were right there for it. And this is a billionaire. Married to one of the most desirable women on earth, they say. Mental health. A lesser known rapper who I grew up listening to, and if you're from the South like I am, and you're an OG, you know this rapper, Pastor Troy. Okay, Pastor Troy. Most people know Pastor Troy for that song, We Ready, We Ready. Okay, gangster song, love that song. But he got a song called Eternal Yard Dash. That's some tough shit. Don't listen to that song if you're not in a good headspace. Do not listen to that song if you're not in a good headspace. Okay. But it is some of the best rap music ever. Okay. It's very well done. Okay. Because you can feel the pain through the speakers for somebody like me and maybe like you who has dealt with suicidal thoughts. And in the hook, he says, I'm running for nothing. 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 I'm running for nothing, so I'ma kill myself. That's a gangster rapper talking about this shit. Most of the time, gangster rappers talking about killing other motherfuckers, right? That's not what this song was about. The very next song, he starts the song off with a prayer, talking about his belief in God because his daddy, if I'm not mistaken, was an actual pastor. Okay. And then the song, the title of the song is Oh Father. And he says, Oh Father, come and take me. I surrender. I'm ready. These are gangster motherfucking rappers acknowledging the trauma and the shit that they be going through. I can leave the rap world and give you another black man who you cannot avoid him right now. Everywhere you turn, you see him on your TV, you see him all across social media, and that is one prime time Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders admittedly tried to kill himself. He tried to kill himself. Deion Sanders is blessed to be with us. If you're not a religious person, if you're not a spiritual person, you might say he's lucky to be with us. The man tried to kill himself. Now, if he lying, he told it. But let him tell it. If I'm not mistaken, he tried to he drove off a cliff and tried to kill himself. See, that's the thing about us men. See, women attempt suicide more. But men, we tend to be more successful. See, women tend to do it by popping pills. Again, I got a degree in psychology. I had to study this shit now. Okay. Women tend to pop pills and shit like that or slit their wrists. Okay. And they do that at a higher rate than men do. But men are more successful because we do shit like Deion did. You know what I'm saying? He was lucky. We do shit like just pull the trigger. So that's the shit I used to think about. See, we do shit that has a higher success rate. Okay. So this motherfucker is lucky to be with us. He's blessed to be with us. Okay. What's happening, man? What's happening, OG? Appreciate you coming through, King. But yeah, Prime, all this shit you seeing now, you wouldn't have seen it You know, from what I've seen, seemed like that was a turning point for him. Now, from what I understand, his family life was rough. Mama, poor, daddy, alcoholic. I think that's probably why he's never been into drugs or anything like that. But he women was his drug. You fucking everything moving. Some marriages didn't work out, but he had to make a change. Now, is he a perfect person right now? No, none of us are. Y'all know I've been critical of the brother. Okay, rightly so. Okay, but who he is as a father to his children, I respect that. But he wouldn't have had a chance to do that if he was successful. You feel me? So I'm glad that those young men, Shador and Shiloh and the rest of them, got their daddy. So that, first, no, man, you like, go look it up. I know the man walks around like he the most confident motherfucker on earth, but that be the thing, y'all. Some of us are like that. Some of us are like that. I know I walk around like that. You feel me? My daughter talks about how I walk around and I walk around like I mean to whoop somebody's ass or like I'm the king of the world and shit like that. But that don't take away from the fact that I go through shit. So the same thing for Prime. Okay, yeah, he was back there high stepping and playing baseball and all that kind of shit, but there still was trauma in that brother's life that caused him to attempt to take his life. He's blessed to be here. Give you another one, y'all. Dak Prescott. Hold on now first. Hold on now first. Don't tell me Dak. We look like we finna win this thing this year. Well, I'm just keeping it 100 with you. Dak Prescott. Dak. Folk ain't like Dak just got hot. Dak went to Mississippi State and was so damn good that he had Mississippi State ranked as the #1 football team in America. Mississippi State. Not Alabama, LSU, Clemson, Florida State, no shit like that. Notre Dame, USC, Mississippi State. That's how cold that motherfucker was. Oh, and then he goes to the Dallas Cowboys and takes the job of America's beloved Tony Romo. Has a stellar rookie season. He is the quarterback of the most valuable sports team on earth. And yes, he has openly let folks know that he's dealt with mental health challenges. If I'm not mistaken, he has a brother who committed suicide. This brother, Dak Prescott, has started a foundation to try to help with mental health issues. Now, I know some of us, me being one of them, have hope that Dak would be more forceful. And when it comes to racial issues, and we know we didn't really like how he handled the Colin Kaepernick situation, the George Floyd situation, all that kind of stuff. Okay. Everybody ain't a me. And that's cool. Okay. But on this issue, that king been knocking it out of the damn park. So because to have a black man who plays for the Dallas Cowboys be open about mental health, goddamn it, you can't help but salute that. Gotta salute that. And then you had some I want to say Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless, you know he loved the Dallas Cowboys. When Dak came out and openly admitted this shit, Skip Bayless didn't like that. Acting like them Cowboys wasn't gonna follow him behind that. That's such bullshit. I apologize, y'all. That's such bullshit. If I was on that team and my quarterback was real like that to admit his vulnerability, shit, I'm riding with him. Now, I think Skip Bayless' point also was like maybe fans would get on him a little more and all that kind of shit. True. It's an evil ass world. It's an evil world. But that's where it comes for Dak. I hope Dak has shit in place to where he can handle that stress. Okay, that may come from opposing teams who may try to get at him about mental health or fans who might try to say fuck shit. You know what I'm talking about? But I'm glad he did it. I'm glad he did it. I'll give you another one from the sports world that I just learned about. This is why I encourage you to read books. Read books. The biopics, can't do it. It's only 2 hours, 2.5 hours. The docu-series, they can't even do it. Read the books, okay? Walter Payton. Walter Payton. I did not know. I had never heard this before in my life. I'm from Mississippi, okay? Walter Payton played football for Jackson State University. I've never heard that Walter Payton was ever suicidal. But I learned that in this book, Sweetness by Jeff Pearlman, okay? I learned that it was pretty severe. It was pretty severe, okay? That he would call people in his circle and say things like, basically, I'm gonna take myself out and I'm taking you with me. Thank God he didn't do that. Okay. Unfortunately, Sweetness passed from cancer. Okay. But this mountain of a man, okay, in terms of his stature in football, this was the all-time leading rusher. Okay. This was a one-man offense for most of his years in Chicago. Okay. And he even dealt with it. Now, I wonder if some of that was CTE, which in his lifetime, that wasn't even thought of. Okay. But now I think back to the way that man ran that football, how violently that man ran that football. Okay. And how he rarely missed game. I think maybe he missed one game in his career, something like that. I wonder. So what does that tell? Shit. I didn't play high school football, but I know I had 2 concussions in my life. I know it now. Okay. At the time, I didn't. Okay. I got one, and I just thought about this the other day. Playing outside in my yard, you play pickup, mess up, and all that kind of shit. Them motherfuckers knocked me out cold and left me there. And when I woke up, nobody was out there, motherfucker. I had a concussion. That was a concussion. Playing basketball, I wasn't afraid to put my body on the line. So I took hella charges. If they kept the stat, I probably would hold a record for charges taken in the state of Mississippi basketball. Okay. But one time I took a charge, my head bounced off the floor, and I went out for a second, I had to sit out the third quarter. Finally, my mama happened to come to that game. Now, my mama, because of work and her being tired after work, usually didn't come to my basketball game. But goddamn it, my mama was in the stand. And she happened to see it, and so she wouldn't let me go back in. But finally, I looked up in the stand begging, please, and I went back in the fourth quarter. We came back, but we couldn't win, okay? But that was a concussion. So I think about y'all brothers out there that may have played football or some shit like that. And think about what shape your brain might be in and how that might affect you later on. You feel me? Because that may have been what happened with Sweetness, okay? But let me get outside of sports. Let's go to acting. Will Smith. Now, of course, I know right now you might say, well, shit, Jada be giving him hella reason for to go through some mental health, struggle. Even before her, you know what I'm saying? He went through some shit. I want to say my wife read his book. And so, like, when he went up there and slapped the shit out of Chris Rock, my wife gave me a different perspective on it even before Will Smith came out and publicly started asking questions about it. Because if I'm not mistaken, it was some shit that went on in his household growing up, and he felt like he didn't protect, I guess his mama. Okay, I apologize if I'm wrong about that. But some woman, when he was growing up, was getting hands put on her, and he felt like he didn't do enough to protect her. So in this situation with his wife being dissed like this and publicly shamed like this, he was like, you're not finna be shaming my wife like that. He went up there and put hands on that man. Mental health. Give you another one. The Rock. Dwayne Johnson. The Rock. And both Will Smith, The Rock, both of these boys getting at least, $20 million a movie? Mental health don't give a fuck about that. You know, anxiety, depression don't give a fuck about how much money you making per movie. They don't give a fuck about it. They don't give a fuck about your race. None of that. How strong you are. The Rock, big as a sun bitch. That boy come out there in my garage and lift weights with me and lift me under the table. He'll make me like a fool out there. And I'm 6 feet, 230 pounds. That motherfucker made me look like a baby after lifting with him. But even he has struggled with depression. I read something that said first time that he says he dealt with depression was when he was 18 years old. 18. And folks be looking at 18-year-old or teenagers in general. You young. What's wrong with you? You can't be depressed. You young. Fuck, motherfucker, what you mean? Anxiety and depression don't care about your age either. Dwayne Johnson, 18 years old. He was dealing with it, but he didn't know what it was. What nobody talking about? Wasn't nobody really doing this at this point. Oprah was doing it, but we wasn't watching no goddamn Oprah like that. Come on, fellas, real G's out there. Y'all wasn't watching no goddamn Oprah like that. You walk in the house and you see your mama or your big mama, they watching and you keep on kicking it. You know what I'm talking about? You'll get on the video game and you take your ass on outside and hoop and play some football. You wasn't letting no goddamn Oprah like that. That's something that folk probably said was soft. You feel me? You ain't lying. Israel, you ain't lying. It's no joke. It's not. And it's okay to acknowledge that you deal with it. If Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, wrestling legend, action movie icon, got every muscle you would want, pop, everything, and he can admit it, you can too. You can too. That's 9. I'm going to give you one more, and this one I'm talking about blew my mind. I was watching one of these news programs that I watch on YouTube, and they had a brother on there that was coming out with a book. And the subject of this book, the person he was writing about, in the book it's revealed that this person was suicidal before he got into his life's work. And I'm talking about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., y'all. I had never heard this. I had heard before that J. Edgar Hoover's bitch ass, you know, the former FBI director, go look that sorry motherfucker, that evil motherfucker up. Look him up. I knew that he was trying to do stuff to Dr. King to make Dr. King either quit his activism or make Dr. King kill himself. I had read that, do that whole COINTELPRO shit that he was doing, the shit that he was using against Dr. King, Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, the Black Panthers, CORE, SNCC, NAACP, you know, that shit. You know, they were bugging Dr. King's hotel room, and allegedly they were trying to catch him sleeping with women, and they were gonna out him about that, and all this kind of shit. Okay, now my wife read Coretta Scott King's book, and Coretta Scott King says she listened to the old tape. She said that was not her husband. She said she knows how her husband sounds. I'm gonna leave that right there. Okay, but this book, which I bought the book, I haven't read the book yet. Okay, I was reading another book. I was reading the Walter Payton book, matter of fact. Okay, my goal is to read 3 books on my phone right now per year. So I've already read a hard copy book, but that don't count. So I still got one more book to read for this year. So I'm trying to give me a short book in to end the year. But I'm gonna read this book because this book talks about what Dr. King dealt with before he was even in the movement. And I'm like, oh shit. That makes Dr. King even more gangster to me. That this man already had depression and still went out here and put his life on the line for you and me. That's gangster. I'm so thankful to him. and the countless others who did. I know my OGC Lee McInnes told me that we got a local real one who just passed away. I want to say Hollis Watkins. OG, I hope I'm not messing up his name, okay? But I thank all of them. Because you think about our ancestors and the mental strain that they probably went through during slavery. When you know you a fucking man or woman, you know that you are a human being, and these folks are treating you like a cow. They treating you like they hog or they chicken or some shit. And supposedly you got to endure this shit, and then you're taught that if you take your own life to get out of this bullshit, that you're going straight to hell. So you just got to endure this shit. That's part of the reason why so many of them old songs we grew up in the church listening to, they about death. That's like they want death. They anticipating death. Swing down, swing low, sweet chariot coming forth to carry me home. Now, I know during slavery that also was a code for like the Underground Railroad and shit. But I'm talking about post. Now you still seen that shit when I was growing up in the church. You feel me? I remember them songs, not the inspirational choir. Think about them songs that the old folk choir was saying. A lot of them are about dying, how motherfuckers are happy to go ahead and lead this bullshit. So think about the mental strain of going through all that hell through slavery, then through Jim Crow and the movement itself, and you trying to fight for your shit and you knowing you outnumbered in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? That stress. But they were gangster. They were gangster. They survived. And their survival gave us a chance, y'all. So we got to use that chance. We got to take that chance. And we got to take care of ourselves. And we're going to take care of ourselves. We got to take care of this. So I just gave y'all 10 brothers, 10 notable brothers who had suicidal thoughts or some kind of mental health challenges. And I tell you right now, you're looking at it at number 11 right here. You're looking at number 11 right here. Okay? I've dealt with it. In 2007, I want to say. That probably was the closest I've gotten to go ahead and doing it. 2007 was a motherfucker for me. Okay. In 07, that's when I faced that felony charge for assault on a police officer, which was bullshit. The police officer attacked me first. I defended myself, but then the motherfucker want to arrest me and charge me with some shit. Young black man versus white cop, Mississippi. You know how that shit go. But before they dropped it down to a misdemeanor, I was facing felony assault. That was a stressor. In 2007, my wife, who was my girlfriend then, she left my motherfucking ass. She left me. I gave her plenty of reason to. Not for putting no hands on, disrespecting nothing like that, but for cheating. I was dealing with these issues about not having my father. I think my biological father, like his health was starting to get, he was an alcoholic and he had been in Vietnam, and now I come to find out he was at Camp Lejeune, so that may have played a role in some of his health problems and shit like that. And I remember getting a call. I was in college walking on campus, getting a call about him. And I just stopped in the middle of campus, and started tearing up and shit. Cause I'm thinking about myself being in a casket. You feel me? Around that time, that's when my grandmother Alzheimer's was really starting to really bother her. Racism, though. That was the number one thing. Racism. That's the number one thing that was fucking with me. Because out of all that other shit, death, okay. The death of my father, who wasn't in my life, okay. Overall, gonna be able to handle that. Okay. My woman leaving me, that was fucked up, but I was still fucking with another woman. Okay. My grandmother dealing with Alzheimer's, hurt me to my heart, but I was still in college, so I was away from it. Okay, now when I got back home, it really it got to me then. Okay, but all that racism, we had motherfucker some G's and some vice lords down there, and this was in Hattiesburg. Some G's and some vice lords that had a little shootout one night, and damn near simultaneously on campus, this at Southern Miss, a brother was walking underneath the football stadium, and some white boys just rolled past him saying a bunch of racist shit. That shit bothered me. I was a straight A student. I'm in the library handling business. I go to the bathroom in the library, take a shit or something like that. I don't know. And I see on the stall written, all niggas go home. Think about that. What nigga by American standards really mean? Lazy and inferior and intellectually inferior. And look at me, a straight A student up in there handling business, and these motherfuckers calling me a nigga and want me to go home. I was enraged. YouTube comments. I ain't had no YouTube channel back then. Okay. I ain't had no YouTube channel back then. All right. But just watching shit on YouTube, and then you go to the comment section and the racist vitriol that was on it. Google, I don't know if Google owned it at that time. YouTube was not doing a good job of policing it then. I don't know if they do a good job now because I don't read them. But that shit really fucked with me because I'm like, I can't change that. If I keep busting my ass and work hard, I can help my family. If I could just had a chance to see my woman, I can get my woman back. Okay, I can do all this kind of stuff. But race, I cannot change this shit. I'm not gonna pull a Sammy Sosa or any of these other and bleach my skin. I am who I am, and that shit made me hopeless. And when you lose hope, that's when your ass need to get some help. I lost hope. And again, I got a degree in psychology, so I knew the signs that were pointing towards I was getting close to that shit because I was coming up with a plan of what I was going to do. Okay. And this part of my head, it may look backwards to y'all. Okay. I don't know. But the right side of my head, it'll get real tense. And I was telling myself that if I just shot myself and released that tension, that I would be at peace. I knew that type of thinking, I need to go get some help. You know what I did? I went on campus to a free clinic. That's part of the reason why I call this first free clinic. Talk to a therapist. There was I guess she was a grad student. I don't think she was actually a doctor yet. So I guess it was somebody working towards that. I don't know. But it was a black lady. Okay, younger, had to be in the late 20s or something like that. And she helped me. She didn't prescribe any medicine. She didn't say anything that was, oh my God, you're right. I've never thought about things like that. She said basic shit like, don't read them YouTube comments. Avoid that type of stuff. Same shit that other people in my life had said, but when you have something come from a so-called authority figure, it hit different. Part of the reason you take your ass to some therapy. She made me sign a contract, okay, saying that I would not harm myself, and that I would contact two people, okay? So I put my brother JoJo on there. Yeah, I've seen JoJo if you've been down with me from the genesis of Put It On Something. And who I consider my little brother, a brother by the name of Byron McGloster, okay? We call him Dink. They were the ones still down there with me at the time. My brother Ray Caesar had graduated. My brother Tim G. Jacob had graduated. Okay. I'm younger, and Dink, he younger than me. Okay. And JoJo would tell y'all that he tried to stay in college as long as possible before crazy here. But they were still down there with me. And so on this contract, I signed and pledged that I wouldn't harm myself and that I would contact them. And I know that's bullshit because you're going to kill yourself, fuck that paper, right? But it's the mental aspect of it. The fact that I'm a person, I don't want to let people I love down. I don't want to go against an agreement that I made. I promised this woman and I'm not going to do this. I promised my brothers that I will contact them before I do something like that. And it helped. it helped. Okay. And I kept practicing those things. Even after I got in this business. Once I got in this business, I had comments on Instagram and Twitter and all these other places. But I at first, if you've been down with put it on some since we started it, I remember at first I ain't had comments on. And that's going back to 2007. I just didn't want to see it because I didn't know it was triggering that trauma. It was taking me back to that trauma from the past. Okay. And some of the stuff I still haven't worked out. That incident with the police. I can't just play cops with my daughter. You know, to my like, you know how you play with your kid and they act like they arresting you or some shit like that. I can't do that because she put my hands behind my back and shit like that. It take me back to that bitch ass motherfucking police and what they did to me out there. So I still have things to work through. You understand? And I do it through my music. I do it, excuse me, through conversing with y'all. I do it through educating the youth. My students know I'm an open book. And then like, Cole so real. Because I use my life to teach them. And they fucked with me because a lot of them were going through the same shit. You feel me? So that's why we have this. Thank you, King. I appreciate you, OG. I appreciate you, OG. That's why we have this platform right here. Because I want y'all to see somebody who's been there, somebody that looks like me that's going through it. That's real talk. I like the way you put that. That was a prescription. You're right. You're right. And think about it, when somebody, it's like she gave me ownership over it. And at a time when I was feeling out of control, by doing that, she kind of gave me some control or showed me that I had some control. Because again, I was a disciplined person. I was an excellent student and things like that. So I wasn't the type of person that if I say I'm going to do something, or if I say I'm not going to do something, I'm not going to violate that. So you're right. She was letting me write my own prescription. I like the way you put that shit. Okay. But this is the purpose of this. Okay. And before we get off here, I want to share this with y'all. This is something that it has 1 million views on Facebook. It's a song that I wrote. It's on my project called We Kings, which I consider my best EP to date. Okay, but millions of people around the world have fucked with this record and commented on this record, and they shared it with people through Facebook. That's a beautiful thing about the internet now. I know it's a lot of mess on here. It is. Okay. Children are being bullied on this internet. Okay. They sitting up here and they're taking people's faces. Average Americans. They taking women's face. You kings and brothers out there, ladies out there, y'all be careful of this. You be them post somebody you love, they take their face and go put that on a porn star. Now it look like your man or woman out here doing lewd acts and shit like that. So I know the internet can be an awful place. But through the internet, I was able to get this song that I'm about to play for you around the world to countries like Nigeria, South Africa, India, England, okay, and all throughout the United States. All these places I've never been before. But these folks were telling me, man, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's just one white guy who his sister said straight up, I helped save this man's life. And this song was a genesis of this. He came across my song on the internet, okay, through my marketing, okay. And we started to converse. He would inbox me. Facebook is inbox, yeah. He would inbox me. And I just would tell him, man, whenever you going through it, just hey, holler at me, give me a chance now. And I check in on him and shit like that. And you know, he made it. He made it. Okay. So I want to share this song with y'all as well. Make sure you listen to the whole thing because the first part of the song is me venting. The first part of the song is me getting out all the shit, all the trauma, all the stress that I'm going through. But then at the end, you see, me provide hope. You feel me? And see, the concept of the music video was like, I'm sitting there alone, drinking with my pistol, about to commit suicide. Okay. But then you see what happens. Okay. Again, the title of this song is Only God Knows. This is from my EP, We Kings. You see, I'm started from the top. And that right there is a quote from my basketball coach, Keith Barnes. Okay. He used to say that right there after games, win or lose. And it especially hit different when we lost. Okay. He would say, and he was quoting the Bible, said, the race is not given to the swift nor the strong, but he, and I added, or she, who endures to the end. So y'all remember that. Okay. Remember that. That long you stay strong and endure and survive. Like my daughter clowns me all the time about being 38 going on 39. I tell her, well, I'll survive, baby. So be proud every year that you make it through this thing, especially if you got mental health challenges. God damn it. Congratulate yourself. Okay. Because you have endured. But again, this is Only God Knows. For anybody under the sound of my voice, I hope you feel this. First, only God knows what I was feeling. I tried to tell you, you wouldn't listen. Only God knows why I was scared. Asked you for comfort, you didn't care. Only God knows about my anxiety. I'm being judged by fucked up society. Only God knows I'm dealing with debts, deal with depression, dealing with death. Only God knows I watch my son suffer, and don't nobody understand except me and his mother. I called a friend, they ain't pick up, so how I'm gon' bend? Got this pistol saying do it, I bet they care then, but they probably won't though. And it's even more depressing, knowing they'll be faking in my funeral procession. I pour another glass, finna drink this whole filth. I don't give a shit about getting sick, cause only God knows I'm sick of the lies. I sit and cry, look to the skies. Only God knows you were too busy. I need to stop drinking, I'm getting dizzy. Only God knows I tried to help folk. A damn shame how they tried to play me though. Only God knows, cause I don't have the answers. Fuck Alzheimer's, motherfuck cancer. Only God knows I really wanna live, but not like this. You don't know how I feel to have the weight of the world on your fucking shoulders. If you young, you'll get it when you're finally older. This life ain't fair, not one damn bit. I got all this talent, but I feel like shit. I'm completely alone. Where the fuck are my friends? My life is a movie that might as well end. Only God knows. To all the people out there dealing with mental strife, only God knows. I want you to know, shit, it's gonna be alright. Only God knows. See, I wrote this song to express my pain. Only God knows. It ain't a damn thing wrong with no tear stains. Only God knows you are not alone. Let me repeat that. Only God knows you are not alone. You see, only God next time knows. You need to put this shit on right here. Cry. Only God knows. Dry your eyes, then keep fighting. Only God knows I love you. I don't even know you. Only God but knows. I know you. And I love you. First, That was Only God Knows. Shout out to my young boy Jamel Brooks. He shot that for me, y'all. One of my former students and athletes. We shot that during COVID, during the height of that thing. And I just had to get that out. I had to get that out. So we just did what we had to do. We just shot it at my house in the garage. And I'm glad I did that. I know at least one person is still on this earth because of that record. So I'm glad that I could vent myself. That was therapeutic for me. But I'm glad that God gave me that talent and the ability to put that together to help people. You feel me? Thank you, man. Appreciate you, King. I hope you paid attention to what I said at the end. Appreciate it, Antonio. I said, cry, dry your eyes, and keep fighting. It is okay for a black man to do that. It's not okay to cry and then give up. That's a bitch. You cry and you quit, you run out on your family because times are hard. That's a bitch. You start putting your hands on your wife because of what the world doing to you, and you can't whoop the white man ass at work because you do something to that motherfucker, you're gonna lose your job. So you come home and beat her ass. That's a bitch. But for you to be going through something and you cry and you dry your eyes, but god damn it, you get right back to fighting. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You are a man. Nothing wrong with that. And then the other thing that I said at the end, I wanted young people who might come across that record to hear a strong black man saying, I love you. Notice I said, I love you. I don't even know you, but I love you. Okay? I don't know you, but I do know you, and I love you. See, what I meant by that is, yeah, I might not know you personally. Y'all real ones that even come on here. I don't know you personally. You see me, I don't see you. You feel me? I'm an open book, so you've learned a lot about me and my you know, my son got autism. You know, my mama is a breast cancer survivor now. You know, my mother-in-law cancer survivor. You know all this shit about me. I don't know you, but I do know you though. I do know you. I do know you because if real shit harder, see, person like me and Harder, me and Antonio, some of the other real ones throughout the world that fuck with me, come on now for my shit. I know when I record something if it's gonna work or not before I even give it to y'all. Why? Because I know you. I know what you go through because every hood the same. You feel me? And we all human beings. We all want love. If we do a good job, we want admiration for that. We want to be respected. We want our children to be well educated. We want our children to be protected. So yeah, I don't know you personally, but goddamn it, I do know you, and I love you. If you're a real one, I love you. And there are many of us who do not hear that. I cannot recall if I heard "I love you" from a male when I was growing up. I know my biological father did not say that. The man I call my stepfather, he said it, but he would only say it when he was filthy drunk. That's the only time he would say it. I ain't gonna take that shit seriously. He wouldn't talk to me when he was sober. You feel me? My coach would say he loved us. You know, he would say he loved us. But I'm talking about like the way I talk to my son and my daughter. I did not hear that straight up like that. So I wanted to put on record, I love you. You feel me? Because we need that. Black men need love too. You feel me? Appreciate you, Israel. Appreciate you, King. And appreciate all y'all real ones out there. Okay. Please spread the word about First Free Clinic. Okay. I committed to doing this through September. That's right, Hardy, you ain't lying. I committed to doing this through September. But I'm still debating on whether to keep it going. I know it helps my spirit to do it. You feel me? But I don't want to be selfish and just doing something for myself. I want to help the people. Okay. OG, what's happening? Y'all, this is somebody who is helping my mental health right now. Okay. Again, as a fatherless child, I've not had nobody I could just talk to pour into me like that that's tangible like this all the time. So OG C. Lee McInnes, if y'all ever see him on there, psychedelic literature, okay, that's one of my OGs. I love this man. Okay. I had some real shit on my mind, need to talk about it. Okay. That king was real enough to meet up with me somewhere, wouldn't let me pay for the meal, okay? And just we talked for a couple hours, okay? And he just pouring information into me, man. That's what we need, brothers helping brothers. We helping each other. You feel me? Whether it's from an OG level from him, and I'm his BG. I got a real one out here on social media. He literally told me, he said, C. Lee is your OG, but you my OG. You feel me? And that's how we keep this shit progressing. You know what I'm talking about? So I appreciate all y'all. And like I said, we were supposed to start the show with the serenity prayer. That's my mistake. But we sure enough gonna end it with it. Okay. So God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. As always, one.